Hari Om. How can we understand the greatness of this practice of Maha Yoga as revealed by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi? Once a devotee asked Bhagavan how it will be to remain in the presence of God in Vaikuntha. Bhagavan smiled and replied him back saying, "It will be just very similar to how you see me here. There also you will find the Swami, meaning Sri Mahavishnu, being seated there. And there will be people like you around sitting there. And then what will happen?" asked the devotee. Bhagavan told him, "Yes, people will be asking doubts to that Swami as you all ask me here. And very similar to the way in which I reply you all, even there also the Swami will be replying to the queries of the devotees around. And then what will happen?" asked the devotee again. Then Bhagavan smiled and told him, "If the Swami finds that you are very earnest and sincere, he will ask you to come nearby to him. And then he will whisper in your ears, 'See who you are.'" Bhagavan means that when the God becomes pleased with a devotee, he would indicate to him to look within, find the truth behind your own existence. This is what the practice of Maha Yoga is all about. So saying, Bhagavan looked at the devotee and said, "Instead of waiting to go to Vaikuntha and then after so much of time one gets to hear this advice from the Swami there, instead, why not you do this same practice here itself? Instead of waiting for so much time to get the Upadesa to see who you are, look within. Instead of waiting and doing all this after so much of delay, why not right now you do it? Why not you do the same practice of Maha Yoga here itself? Looking within, turning our attention within, withdrawing our attention from unwanted worldly objects and thoughts, etc. And instead internalize our mind to look within, to turn our attention within towards the source of the mind or the ego, which is the pure being, pure I, or the presence of Bhagavan. And by just remaining in the presence of Bhagavan, we naturally remain subsided. The ego remains subsided in its source. Thereby, we shall remain in the presence of Bhagavan. Being in the presence of Bhagavan itself is the ultimate fulfillment of the practice of Maha Yoga. So, this is the untold greatness of the practice of Maha Yoga, that this is the practice that is taught even by all the deities or the gods or the divine beings, wherever, whatever plane one may be, for lasting peace and freedom and liberation. The one direct and most effective means is the practice of Maha Yoga as taught by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. So, looking within and being in the presence of Bhagavan itself is the highest of all the spiritual practices. Atmanishta, the state of remaining as the pure I, the pure being, the presence of Bhagavan is the state of Sampurna Sharanagati, complete surrender to Bhagavan. Arunachala is the state of pure being, the pure I. And Bhagavan is also the same pure I, the pure being. Bhagavan and Arunachala are not two different beings. Arunachala is Bhagavan, and the very nature of Bhagavan is the pure being, the sense of I am, Aham, which is also the very nature of Arunachala. In the highest essence, highest sense we are talking. Arunachala as the physical form itself is God in its physical form, and in its Sukshma Rupa, Arunachala is the form of divine effulgence, the divine light, infinite column of divine light. And beyond the Stula and Sukshma is the eternal being of Arunachala, the Nirguna Brahman, which is in the form of the sense of I am, the pure I, which we call as the presence of Bhagavan. So this presence of Bhagavan, the pure I, is the very nature of Arunachala and Bhagavan. It is what is there within all of us when we remain quiet, when our mind stays quiet. So this is what is the eternal truth. And Bhagavan, who remains within, he pulls us from within the more we turn our attention towards his presence. So this is what is very important. The more we remain in the presence, the more we shall remain in the presence altogether, forever. So, the pure being I am, the Arunachala, the presence of Bhagavan is always there. We are already always in that presence. Let us not leave that presence and wander away towards unworthy worldly objects or Vishayas. Whatever activities we may be engaged, we may be doing, let us keep our attention always on the presence of Bhagavan, alongside. This is the secret to manage our worldly life along with this being in the presence of Bhagavan. Arunachala Hritspurti Swarupanugrahatmane Namo Bhagavate Drashtre Ramanaya Nirantaram. அருணாச்சலமன வழங்கப்பெறும் மிதிய பேருடைய தமது இயலும் மருளுமானவரும் சர்வசாட்சியுமான ஸ்ரீ ரமண பகவானுக்கு உள்ளத்தை இடைவிடா வணக்கம். அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல